Believe it or not, two sources show that Russia may terminate the Ukrainian war in May.
Another Russian general was killed in Ukraine, which brings the total casualty of Russian generals to 7.
After seeing enough of Ukraine, Taiwan people kind of lost confidence in the U.S. military aid, and you wonder why.
Ketanji Brown Jackson hearing was over, and what's the takeaway?
Wisconsin State Assembly held a hearing on 2020 election integrity, and what has surfaced. Welcome to Wen and Kathy Show. I'm your host, Wei Fang.
I'm Kathy Zhang.
All right, so first let's talk about the last piece of news, which is the Wisconsin State Assembly hearing on the 2020 election, and we will be airing that story on the Safe Chat.
Right. Yeah. So it's for the reason you
understand.
Understand. Yeah. So please, if you're interested in the story, just prepare to get on to Safe Chat. If you it's the first time for you to know Safe Chat, go on to safechat.com. You can just download it. Mm-hmm. Either on the cell phone like app or on the computer, you can watch it. If you download it, then you can also make comments. If you don't, plan to comment, then you can just get on and watch it.
Yeah. Okay. Those are one of the few medias who still report on this story, which is important. So before we start today's news, click the like if you can, and also making sure subscription is still valid, and click on the little bell. We still need you help to boost up the viewership of the channel.
Yeah, and as our viewers kindly reminded us, to encourage you guys to hit the like, and so that the algorithm will work.
Yeah. Apparently, you can see, right? We don't have a big following, but we have got a very good community. Okay, I think people are active. You have questions. You have point of view. You have good point of view, and it's great to have you. And then I think we can just grow together and grow our knowledge, grow our experience, grow our understanding of the world that we're living in.
Yeah, and grow this channel.
Yes. All right. Someday this will become big. All right. Let's first look at, we all know the Russia-Ukraine war is really just terrible, so much suffering. And do you believe it or not, that maybe it's coming to an end soon. So Russia, why do I say so? Okay. First, there are two sources that indicate that the war may be ending soon. First come from the Russia Defense Ministry, who said the following today. Okay, just quote, "In general, the main tasks of the first phase of the operation has been accomplished." Take note of this. When
the first phase.
Yeah, when a totalitarian regime, release something like this, you can read this as they are paving the steps for them to, step down. And then it continues. The battle potential of the armed forces of the Ukraine has been significantly reduced, which allows us once again to concentrate our main effort on achieving the main goal, the liberation of the Donbass. Okay. Remember it or not, at the time of the invasion, Russia was saying that they need to denazification and demilitarization of the Ukraine, and then they didn't mention the Donbass. Now they say the main goal is the liberation of Donbass. So they apparently have shifted their goal, all right?
So the General Staff of Ukrainian Armed Force has revealed that the Russian armed forces have been informed that the war must end on May 9th. So that's the second source. And the date is the anniversary of the victory in the anti-fascist patriotic war in the former Soviet Union and a national holiday in Russia. On May 9th, 1945, Soviet Union's Red Army accepted the unconditional surrender of Nazi Germany in Berlin, and the date thus became the Victory Day for Russia.
Well, another related news is Turkey President Erdogan, who has been brokering a peace talk between Russia and Ukraine, said that Russia has a 6-point condition to end the war, and both sides have come close on 4 of them. And what are they? Okay, the first is the NATO. Ukraine shall not join NATO. And the second is the partial disarmament. Well, that's a really, partial, what does that mean? It's probably not too hard to, come to a compromising point. The third is collective security, okay? Both parties have come close to a consensus there. The fourth one is the Russian language. Ukraine shall not, diminish the teaching of the Russian language. Okay, two remaining points that both parties cannot come close to agreement are, one is the Crimea, okay, who has the sovereignty for that, and the Donbass, which has now become the main goal of the Russia military operation. So, but anyway, it still indicates that the two sides are coming closer.
So an advisor to the head of the president's office announced on Friday that Ukraine troop killed the commander of the Russia's 49th Combined Armies Russia's 49th Combined Arms Army of the Southern Military District. Lieutenant General Yakov Volodymyrovich Rezentsev.
Rezentsev, that's the lieutenant general's name.
So the speaker said that the enemy general was liquidated at the airfield in Kornabavka, which is at the Kherson region.
Yeah, just you know what? Kherson is the only the only city that the Russia has taken. They actually occupied that one, but this is in airfield and near the Kherson region, and it just happened. All right, it seems that it really doesn't seem to, Russia has the total control of that city and its surroundings. Right, the battle is pretty much just happening all around the region that the Russia has occupied. And thus far, 7 Russian generals have lost their life in the 1-month-long war. This is really unprecedented. And then Ukraine claimed that as high as 16,000 Russian soldiers has been killed, as many as 3 times has been injured. And the Russia's number saying that only 1,300 soldiers has lost their life.
That's a big difference.
Right.
All right, so next piece of news, it's about Taiwan. A survey in Taiwan shows that only 35% of Taiwanese believed that when China invaded Taiwan, United States would come to Taiwan to help with the defense, and 56% believed the United States would not.
Yeah, let's pause here a little bit. Okay, only a little over 1/3 of Taiwanese believe that the U.S. will come to Taiwan to help. Boots on the ground, okay, that type of help. And then 56% believe they won't. What do you think? Can we do a little survey, with our audience? It's just a very simple question. You said, would the U.S. come to the aid of Taiwan, boots on the island, or not? Yes or no? Just say yes or no, okay? Let's continue with the news. It's very interesting.
All right. So 5 months ago, the same survey found that 65% of Taiwanese believe U.S. will come to Taiwan to defend it. So that's a huge decline. It's about 30% decline. So in 5 months, that's the difference. And about 30 to 31% of the Taiwanese changed their mind.
Yeah, and the reason? What's the reason? Well, the reason is after seeing U.S. and the NATO just sit by when the Ukraine was invaded, Taiwanese feel that they probably will be in the same situation. And also the media reports, a lot of media reports of the suffering of the Ukrainians, and created huge impact to the mind of people in Taiwan who now worry about their future. And interestingly, okay, took note of this, as high as 43% of the surveyed Taiwanese, mind you, that's 8% higher than the 35%. Okay, 43% of the surveyed Taiwanese believe Japanese will come to the aid of Taiwan. All right.
Yeah,
so they think Japanese is more accountable. They're close, and their stake also is there, and they have a strong, actually, they call it 自卫队, right? Like a self-defense force. And then they don't have a formal navy or air force or army because of their peace constitution. But still, the Taiwanese expect Japan to come to the aid of the island. So again, I just want to know that. What do you think? You know, like we got eventually like a 600 or 700 viewers on the YouTube, okay, and another, how to say, 1600 on the Safe Chat. We can get a good valid survey. How about that?
If everybody participate.
I hope everybody who watched this to this point just type yes or no. Your gut feeling about whether U.S.
Will
set the boots on the island to defend Taiwan.
Yeah, so at this time, I wanted to thank Curtis Bartle, for your donation to us.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's that. So next, before we switch over to Safe Chat about the Wisconsin Assembly hearing on the election integration, let's talk briefly about the Supreme Court justice hearing, right? Confirmation. Yeah, it's over, right? This week is over. Altogether, 4 days hearing, including 2 days senators question the Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, right? So the day before, that Kathy showed you all the question and answer, which is, you don't quite see that in the mainstream media. All right, so now it's over. Okay, if you read the media, mainstream media, you read things different from what we presented to you. But what we presented to you is the original footage. We did not make up anything, and we will not. This is original thing for you to see, and for you to draw a conclusion. So earlier, about 1 hour ago, I was in my Chinese radio show, not radio show, the Chinese YouTube show. I shared the following, which I would like to share with you. I want to get your input, whether you agree or not. Maybe it's really, really common sense to you. Okay, I told my Chinese audience that what is the racism, or what is the no racism U.S. Okay, and how to say, 50 years ago, right, when Martin Luther King was having his speech, his passionate speech, I have a dream. He said, I hope in the future, not original word, okay, my children, he has four kids, right? My children will not be judged for their color, but for their character, all right? And so now we got our vice president who become the vice president, was picked as the running mate for Joe Biden, even though she ranked almost at the bottom of the Democratic Party candidates, and she was still picked because she was a woman. She got she got heritage from Jamaica, Africa, and India. So all the political correctness, and Joe Biden feel that he would need such a person to represent all the the voters for the Democratic Party. So he made the decision, and she became vice president. And you see how she behaved, and then we have to ask ourselves, so what's our criteria anyway? Who would be the best vice president? Likewise, in this case, for the Supreme Court. And this lady, this Jackson, okay, she was only a district attorney, remember, 9 months ago. Only 9 months ago, she was district attorney. So in the June 17th, she was nominated by President Biden to be the appeal court judge of the District of Columbia. And that got confirmed by all the Democratic senators and the 3 Republican senators. Now she's nominated for the Supreme Court. Chances are she will get that job because all 50 Democratic senators would vote for her, and we got the vice president, who's the president of the Senate. And then now the issue is
and actually the other thing is when Judge Jackson was appointed by President Biden to the D.C. Circuit Court. 4 of the GOP senators.
3, I think 3.
3?
Yeah.
Oh, I read 4. So yeah. But anyway.
And who are the 3? You may want to know that I can tell you. Lindsey Graham was one of the 3 GOP senators for the appeal court confirmation, and then we got Susan Collins from Maine. And of course, Graham is from South Carolina. Then we got this Lisa Murkowski from Alaska. So this typical like a moderate type of.
Okay, did
Mitt Romney?
Mitt Romney.
No,
I read he.
My report saying no.
Okay.
But for this one, for the confirmation for Jackson, Judge Jackson, then Mitt Romney was the option.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a possibility. Now they want to make this, make her confirmation as a bipartisan. Okay, so the chances are they got all the votes from the Democratic side. They want to know how many votes they're going to get from the Republican side. Of course, the more the better, right? Then they will say this is a more bipartisan vote. But still, I think so. We show you how she judged on the child pornography cases, and we talk about that. She said, "I cannot. I'm not a biologist. I cannot say who's a woman. What is a woman?" And we'll talk about those, and also talk about the CRT. Right? She said, "I did not research it. I don't rely upon it for my doing my job." And then in her original word, she said,
It turns out she
sentencing based upon criminal law, constitution, and the critical race theory. So
and for a lot of the questions, she just avoided just directly respond to the question. That's another issue, I think.
Yeah.
It's just if you speak your mind, right? Mm-hmm. You have to be honest.
Okay, so the last word I told my Chinese American audience, I said, write to your senators. You got two. Each of you got two. Write to your senator, express your opinion. Don't think you cannot change the situation. Every letter counts. Every letter is a piece of public opinion. And as they grow, as they accumulate, they will have impact. So that's a bit of things that we can do. And next Monday, the Judicial Committee of the Senate will have their meeting, and the chances are they're going to draw their conclusion. Then the vote will go to the floor. All right. So in early April, this final vote will be done. So write to your senators. You elected him, or if you did not, your state elected him. So write to him or her and express your true opinion. I think each of us should do this at every chance like this. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, even though you think there's the result, is determined, but you should let your representative know how you feel and how you think.
Yep.
Yeah. So with regards to the survey, we do got some response.
You do?
But
Okay.
what I saw is the people who responded just say no.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, but not everyone responded yet. So.
Yeah, that's indeed, I want to know this. And how do people feel about this? And setting the boots on the foreign piece of land is always a very, very difficult job, right? Difficult things to do, difficult decision to do. And then what is the difference between Ukraine and Taiwan?
Yeah. On Safe Chat, I actually saw a comment from IHCCP. Janice Rogers Brown is black judge that Biden blocked in 2003 from being nominated. That's true because she's actually was a judge in California, and but she's a Republican-supported judge. Mm. And at that time, Biden was a senator. He even said something. You're gonna go through, referring to this nominee and Judge Brown, saying that it's gonna be a very difficult process for you, and we could even use filibuster. I think they indeed used the filibuster.
Mm. The filibuster for the
previous African American female judge trying to be nominated.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And all right, so we got your input. Thank you very much. And also, Louis, you wrote that the one thing to take away is that she never once said anything about upholding the Constitution. Yeah. Okay. Good observation. And Andre Ling should never have given up U.S. bases in Taiwan. Actually, just a bit of information for you. Taiwan is different from Ukraine in the sense of a few things. First, it's right at the door of China. Okay, so if we lost Taiwan, the CCP will have a new strong, front field for them. Okay, it's basically very, very large. You can say very, very large air base or a aircraft carrier, as big as the island. The second, Taiwan has a very, very sophisticated and advanced chip industry, and then it's so important and so big. Is taken really just a big percentage of the entire chip market. So China or the CCP is very, very weak at advanced chips. So they do got a motivation to invade that island and grab that industry, and the U.S. has a vested interest to safeguard that industry so that it won't fall into the hands of the CCP. The third, and these people, these people has been always very free and democratic, has been the U.S. allies for many decades, 7, 8 decades. And it's a moral obligation to protect this little brother, who live under the shadow of a very, very powerful and vicious enemy. So it will be a hard decision, and but we'll see. Okay, now let's move on. How about that? Anything else?
I saw on SafeChat there's the number of viewers is not really changing. So I just wondering if the folks on YouTube are have
coming over?
Yeah, coming over yet, because for the next feature story we just cannot unfortunately talk about it on the YouTube channel. Yeah, it is about yesterday Wisconsin's open committee hearing on the election integrity, but it's more than that. Actually, I had an interview with
okay, sorry about
with
that.
Someone who is very much involved in all the works over there in the state of Wisconsin in terms of 2020 election integrity. His name is Jefferson Davis. Although he is not directly related to the people who had a testimonial yesterday at the hearing, but he knows a lot about the work they have been doing. They actually work together, and they formed a statewide coalition to really focus combine a lot of people's efforts in this task, and that's why they got so far, I think, just after I interviewed with him. So I'm going to also share part of my interview with him earlier today with you. So good information. So if you would like to...
Don't miss it. Just come over.
Yeah, just
come over now.
So
how about that?
SafeChat, we already passed, provided a link over there. You can just click the link and then you can come over.
And if you want to make comment, you need to register an account. Just email. Okay, you can do that. Or if you download the app, then you automatically are able to make comment. All right, we want to see your comment. Okay, let's go over there together. How about that? 1, 2, 3.